Hi people, welcome back. This is Monday the 5th of February 24, a little update we've been sharing with you gradually, and shame on me for not doing this sooner. Shoot me but don't kill me. That there actually is a way out of all the horrible things we've been reminding you of that are going on, and that people are fortunately protesting globally, this Middle East stuff, yeah. But the fact is, that's not the right approach. And you speak of being hopeful and positive thinking. Those aren't light things, but we have something even senior to all that, and that you people actually do. Yeah. Yep. You actually can, and do it without realizing it. Just decide. I'll give you an example. Ever thought of someone and the phone rang? Don't pick on me. Thought of someone and the phone rang. Okay, well, I don't know what you guys talked about, but we both know you didn't use bodies to talk. No, you as a being, a not thing, got another not thing, to have a thing, a body call, a phone call. Well, gee, holy crap, thought was me. No, that's a lot of work. No, thought is boss. Yeah, it's senior to all things. Now, but I realize, and I agree, you can't just say, oh, Joe will call. That's dropping way down a lower level of effort. He won't call, or he might. Why, Dylan might. So we don't realize it, that we are, take it easy now. The homework's been done of how we can go from effect in life, whatever amount we are or don't realize, to slight, gentle cause. Getting back to this stuff again. Yeah. In other words, we aren't giving them bodies. Oh, God, don't do that. They're living longer, aren't they? Yeah. I came up with my own little realization I'll share. It's very misleading to talk about the average lifespan. No, that's including in the prematures, like the car crash, cancer, and all that. No. Actually, people dying of a ripe old age. They've been running in the 90s and 100s, and now because of the internet, the doctors are forced to agree. It's looking like it'll be 120. When I grew up, oh God, who'd want to live to be in their 80s and rickety oldie? No, hell, they're playing tennis. Not he or she, they, tennis. Yeah, they're going to the gym, yeah. And I like this comment by Hubbard, speaking of a desperation to demonize. Oh, let's demonize a good person, yeah. Whether you like it or not, you can't die. You just grab another body, so why not have the owner's manual? Incidentally, by the way, now that it's sort of popular, the whistleblowing on Big Pharma, and I'm not a critic of Big Pharma, no, because, hey, if I have an infection, I run stoplights to get to the to get the antibiotics, yeah, and aspirin, antibiotics, all that. But anyway, so it's like we can't generalize. In fact, specifically, it will sound like a different topic, but not really. A great example is one of my favorites I came up with. It's totally a lie. No priest ever molested a child. That's totally a lie. No, a molester molested a child. Priests over there are good guys, but they didn't do anything about it. And of course, the truth, the senior reason, the senior why for that homosexuality going on with nuns and priests is because their church, although I'm a big fan of the Catholic Church, they do a lot of good, but they don't allow couples. They run a can't have on couples, so it forces people into the wrong thing, all right. Or not so, all right. Anyway, so today, the 5th of February, 24, is sort of a prelim announcement we're making that a little bird told us, we're certainly just the gopher, the helper, but a little bird told us there are some changes coming around in getting with people, like, Biden currently, because all of our funding, they're calling him Genocide Joe for funding the murdering over there in Palestine. Joe Biden is not a murderer by any. No, that's not his intention. He's stuck and really doesn't know what to do. He's responsible. He took the job. And but that's been going on 75 years. And Bibi over there, he thinks that this, what Trump got in trouble for saying Bush lied about weapons of mass destruction, right? Well, Hamas is a fictitious enemy. No. You are allowed to listen on your own. Go do it and listen to the head of Egypt and Turkey. See how you like them. They're kind of sane and modest. They both say, what? Hamas. It's not some terrorist group. A little bunch of guys get together and stick up for their buddy that's in trouble. And then finally, when we see it's all this 22-mile north to south Gaza is bombed. I mean, it's just hard to believe. They don't care about some Hamas. They want to get, it's their way of grabbing Gaza. It's just sort of a Bible thing. All right. Some call it a weaponized Bible, real estate guys. So anyway, there is no Hamas enemy, no. And the October 7th thing, even if it were true completely, I'm unbiased, 1,200 killed. God, it shouldn't be 12 or 1. But after 75 years of doing it to the others, someone responded. But it turns out it was debunked. No, there never were any beheaded babies. No, total lie. The woman admitted she never saw them, only was told by soldiers. And they even killed some of their own conscript voters on October 7th. And that Brigadier General, the IDF, Israel Defense Forces, Brigadier General, confessed he lied. They don't care because they control the media in the game. He lied. No, he turned the tanks on the Israel people, killing some, one house with 12 people living in it, including a mother and child. Yeah. So the whole thing sounds fraud, maybe. And this Hamas having hostages, are calling it Palestine's terrorist group. What? Palestine you hadn't captured for 75 years? Oh, they bombed, all this stuff about how they bombed their own churches. So anyway, we've dropped, having been in the military, guys, 65,000 tons of explosives on a 75-year already captured bunch of people. Yeah, 2 kids killed in the kindergarten. Yeah, because you have to bomb it because the little children are hiding terrorists kind of thing. Okay, good. Listen, I like this Hubbard guy telling me to wake up a little bit. It'll sound like an old saying, like the darndest, old, dumbest, most simple saying you've known, right? Yeah. Yeah. But still, before we jump the gun, no pun intended, stop and think, what are they trying to do? They're trying to accomplish something. By the way, back to this whistleblower, finally, whistleblowing on Big Pharma, but for the wrongs done, like the opioids, they lied. Millions of addicts, billions in profits, billions in fines, hundreds of thousands dead. Yeah. And then finally, as Tucker pointed out, and many have, in fact, Musk was one of the few first ones, but they lied about the COVID thing. Yeah, it's just it was a big fraud. Just a common, one of the more common flus, one of the weaker flus, upwards of 20% of the common cold are from the flu. And the fact is that, did you see this? Google, I get a kick out of it. Google. The White House and the reporters not long ago said, well, I guess we have egg on our face, meaning they got caught. Yeah, quote, there never were any 900,000 flu deaths. COVID's the flu. Yeah. Last year, there never were any 900,000 flu deaths in the U.S. Only 5%, 5.1. 5% were from the flu. That'd be 45,000. The annual average is 30 to 60,000 people die from the flu. One is one too many. Oh, no. Those are old people who died of heart, lung, kidney cancer, and pneumonia, but they tested for flu, old flu, new flu, shoe flu, whatever. Then without their permission, put down infected. Right. So that was fraud. The White House, Google it, and the reporters, right, said, oh, I guess we have egg on our face, but there never were any 900,000 deaths because of the flu last year. And only 5%, 45,000. Go check it out, yeah. So the point is this, truth is a good thing to have. And Tucker pointed out, inadvertently, Scientology was the early whistleblower because psychiatry, I didn't know this. One out of every 4 to 5 people that you know, I know, they know, are on psychiatric drugs. Yeah. Tucker Carlson said the major. This is why, essentially, why Scientology was being attacked early on. Big Pharma paid some people to attack them because, yeah, he said that major medical groups, he pointed out, have come forth and said psychiatry, and we'll get back to the Middle East and say psychiatry admitted, major medical groups admitted that psychiatry never knew what chemical imbalance of the brain was. No, they just used it to sell. And Tucker Carlson pointed out, reading off this website, CCHR, so this is Commission on Human Rights, okay, founded by a psychiatrist, by the way, but funded backed by Scientology, but founded by Dr. Thomas Yeah, psychiatry last year wrote 220-some million prescriptions for 330 million some people. Some of those are rewrites. Oh, even worse. So it's a chemical lobotoming, incarceration, straitjacket, or assassination. All of the mass shooters to date, So far, we're on or dying trying to get off the psych drugs, right? See the picture of the shooter? No, that's not the shooter. It's called the guy in the background, the drug dealer in white coats. Okay. When caught, he'll say, oh, that guy needed help and his family more. So, some decent people, we'll get to the Middle East in a second, some decent people, psychiatrists, yeah, with a heart, soul, and a pulse, they aren't telling you about Hubbard's homework that you really do want. But one thing they are not. They're not okay with this thing, and they're talking on this website, CCHR, get it. How those other psychiatrists invent those disorders in their minds so they can, get the taxpayer drug money to those people. It's free, so you trust them, you go for help, get betrayal. Then when the drug money runs out, the guy is on the street, both an addict and believing in bipolar of the street, or the feet, or the beets. Beets? Cabbage? No, vegetables, I don't know. So I'm just saying that it's not a good thing to do that. Okay, good. So I had to clear that up because, again, inadvertently, Scientology became sort of the first whistleblower on Big Pharma, the largest sponsors in the media. Yeah, it's amazing Tucker would dare tell it on Fox because Big Pharma are the largest sponsor of airtime on Fox, but he's gone. Anyway, he brought that up, Tucker, one and done, and brave, sane, honest, and wow. But anyway, the good news is back to this thing about how that would be me, guilty of not telling you the truth sooner. I was spending too much time listing of the wrongs, and they are quite wrong, blah, blah. Oh, God, it's horrible, the atrocities we've killed. 27,600 people now, most, 40% are kids over there. Every 7 minutes we kill a child, and every 6 minutes a parent, yeah. And all the restriction, they had this guy Kirby, the White House guy, whatever, on Face the Nation Sunday. What do you say, security advisor? And he actually said, well, we have to keep funding Israel. They have a right to defend itself from the kids they're bombing. No, a right to defend itself because we can't have that Hamas repeating that October 7th thing over and over that we forced that it would do. I mean, they actually are using this story. We cannot allow Hamas to do that October 7th thing again. Forget the 75 years we've been doing to them, And even that's full of lies. So we don't want them to keep doing it over and over, he says. So that's why we're blowing up. We've displaced 1.9 million human beings of the 2.3 million in Gaza. They're homeless, they're nowhere. We're bombing refuge shelters. They're told to go in shelter. We bomb it. We bomb the schools, churches, mosques, yeah, hospitals, UN centers, yeah. And then they set it up, this false story about how a couple of the UN workers helped set up the October 7th. That's all a false or beaten confession we're finding out that Israel did. That's a big lie. They had to do something. Notice they just suddenly told about it right after October 7th rather than all was going on, you see. This kind of, anyway, look it up. So we have a serious matter, don't we? Yes, we have. Now for the good news. Again, this guy, desperation demon, is Hubbard. By the way, Scientology, you don't get into Scientology. What an ugly, terrible, yuck, black thing to do. No, you can't get into it. It gets you out of things you didn't know that you're into with a how-to and the can-do. Yeah, and it's only called a church because of the oldest and truest, just to clear it up, oldest and truest definition going way back where it addresses you as a being, spirit, or soul rather than a lab animal. Yeah. That's the only reason it's called a religion. It doesn't introduce any or cancel any. What it does essentially is enable people to finally achieve what they were up to with each their own religion, the rediscovery of the self as a being. And I like this thing. You can't become anything. No, you already are. So here's the thing. Biden, he's goofing up. He's the funder. Well, we have to stick forever with Israel, our partner, the only democracy in the Middle East. Your partner got through 9/11? Yeah. Yeah, you're funding it. We funded that thing all these years. You see, we finally got hit in 9/11. Although some say that's a false flag thing. Yeah. No, those people are paid $2 million each to take a dive, do the hit, and their families are going to heaven, this kind of thing. No, some bright person said no. The Muslims didn't leave their calling cards. Sorry, no. But it doesn't matter whether they did it or it's a false flag. It was done, and it happened to us, not Italy, Japan, or the Eskimos. I remind people. So back to the good news. Trump is making a turnaround. He said something very important. Well, don't worry, I'm the most foul-mouthed thing you could ever imagine. Ask my friends. And don't. I don't have any friends. About the stuff that's gone on under his watch, whether he did it or allowed people to do it. But the fact is, all beings, a discovery, thank God. I mean, it sounds so simple. All beings are basically good. How can it be bad before it decided to be? Why feel guilty about something you haven't done? Okay, good. So here we go. So Trump did something very special, and that these things aren't new. They often get buried in the news. His own fault for his other dumb things said. But he actually said this. Kate Collins, the new top woman on CNN, interviewed him not long ago just about the Russia-Ukraine thing. She said, President Trump, what do you think? Who's right? He started to talk. She said, no, President Trump, answer my question. Who's right, Russia or Ukraine? And he says, without any junk, quote, watch it, Google it. He said, listen, you can't have killing any of these people, unquote. That's Trump. No, that's Bibi. That's Biden. That's you. That's me. Come on. That's the good news. Not because of me. I'm just lucky some girl at Harvard told me about this guy's homework. Thank you, Heather. Yeah. And again, there's been kind of a desperation to demonize Harvard, kind of like Musk, because Musk has come out to help us, and now they have him all but dead, like he's a drug addict or something. What? A lot of people have been he's the most brilliant. He's the largest global influencer. What? Musk, by the way, the reporters one day said, Musk, what are you doing? This is early on. I said, what do you mean? You just gave all of your methods of how to make electric cars to all the car makers in the U.S. and around the world before you ever made one or made a dime. Why? He said, well, Google this. This is Musk. I'll get back to Trump. He says, why? If you're in a boat that is sinking and we're in the front of the boat with a good design of a bucket that's bailing out water, wouldn't you want to loan that design to the guys in the back so they could bail just as well? Unquote. That's Musk. Thank you. We've all done it. I've fallen into it myself, thinking so-and-so's wrong or bad when I'm full of crap. I meant well, but I'm responsible. Okay, so the good news is Trump. Talk about telling a whopper. So he doesn't like, I'm just giving you a little forecast of what's coming up. See, and he also said recently, he warned us, and this isn't something a candidate wants to be admitting, that he's also a loser, right? He said, you've got nukes looking at you now. World War III, just around the corner from the Israel thing. Guys, I always tell you, am I a bit too kind? It doesn't matter if it's Norway taking our billions to beat up Sweden after all these years the Swedes nick us on 9/11, which is also a false flag thing, I'm told, yeah. Yeah, those Muslims didn't leave their calling card. Nah, they were given a couple million each for their families so they'll go to heaven or something. Yeah, whatever. It doesn't matter whether they did it. The response, after 52 years of, Norway grabs our billions to beat up Sweden, and the Swedes back us in that of it. See how fair and unbiased we are? Oh, gosh. So Trump, he grumbles, that he's mad at Bibi, Netanyahu, for betraying him. Bibi was the first to congratulate Biden for becoming president. Well, because Bibi thought he could get some billions out of Biden, I suppose. But then Trump said that Bibi betrayed him. Bibi was told by Trump, don't you be going after Palestine or Iran. Both are a fraud thing, by the way, to do. And he did that. And that's the key thing. Well, we can talk about what's wrong or how bad. No, I was wrong. I get so upset. I list the things that I articulate to remind you in case you didn't know, because some of you people shared with us things we wouldn't know. We thank you, and then we forward it to those of you that didn't know about it, as we didn't just before that. No, I've been wrong. Oh, I'm not being nice, and this isn't light to say. Wrong, wrong, wrong. Hubbard says no. When you're counseling somebody, you don't point out to what they've done wrong. Right. They must get rid of those things. That's part of no. You point to what they're doing right. No, it sounds too familiar, and therefore, we've heard that one. No. I don't know Bibi's history. I know this. Joe Biden. I call it doing the Joe. Well, right now, they call him genocide. Joe. It's horrible. I got that. Hold on. I call it doing the Joe. Joe Biden, early in his presidency, with no big fanfare, make-wrong or nothing, out of the blue, he unoccupied us. He took us out of Afghanistan after 20 years, $2 trillion, and murdering all the people out. His own people jumped ugly on him, and the Fox News people both. They said, oh boy, he have blood in his hands now, right? So that we won't have more, you see? He literally moved like a town, 120,000 people roughly in 2 weeks. Wow! Wow! Then the media are glad to share with us somebody's little story about, oh, how evil he was. He wouldn't let those last 6 airplanes take off, left him to die. What? No, their own country said you can't leave without a visa and a passport. You won't get accepted somewhere. Let's process you. I'm just telling you, Joe Biden, I call it doing the Joe. I'm grateful and humbled. I have something of this magnitude to point out. That's Joe Biden. Oh, I've been a Republican for 100 trillion years. Don't worry about it, people, all right? And now I became an independent, so I can tell you people in public the same thing I tell myself at home. I'll brag. Joe Biden did that. No one since Reagan and Gorbachev in modern history have ever done anything like that. Gorby was so inspired by Reagan. Gorbachev didn't become good. No, he is good. You can't become anything. He dismantled the entire Soviet Union, the collected, captured countries under communism. They have a word for it. It's 2 words, perestroika and glasnost. Perestroika and glasnost are the 2 words. One of them means that. He essentially said, hi, you guys, listen. This is your country. You take it back. You run it free. No communism. Unbelievable. He isn't the one that locked him up to begin with. No, Gorbachev did that. No one in modern history. He did not become good. You can't become good. Biden, Bibi, you, me, we, that. No, we are. We just get the nudge to return to being good. Gorbachev did that. We know the name Raisa. Raisa's his wife. How do we know his wife's name? Because they're hanging around so much. Only Joe Biden has ever even approached. You talk about guts, being non-political, political suicide. I'm talking about the truth. You have the right to tell the truth to your wife, yourself, you, me, we, they, us. Joe Biden called doing the Joe. Today they call him Genocide Joe because, yeah, he feels, well, there's nothing we can do. We can't control or redline what Israel does with our billions. All right, that's the scene. He's stuck with that. You know what? Why don't we help him a little? Guess who didn't? Me. Well, I'm just a gopher, certainly, guys. Country bumping along the country, you know. But I know some people that do stuff. Trump is now going to do this weird, strange, oddball, little cutesy thing developed by Hubbard called PVI, Personal Balance and Integrity course. It's free online now. With the internet, a lot of the Scientology stuff, it's free. It's a nonprofit before you go in and pay for a class and be on course in the center. No, free at home. There's a way that you can clean up. Yeah. And he uses the example of the wife. How does that compare to the president? Well, you'll see. The wife is really hammering. This is if you're receiving an adverse effect, just run the other side. Was there anything I might have done? A real story, realistic. A wife just hammering the husband. These are wrong things. Terrible injuries to the soul. Blah, blah, blah. All right, we put her aside. We handled the husband. And the wife stops. But we didn't handle the wife. You tell what you've done. And there's a very specific format. Google this. It's for all of us. No, our life isn't the wrongs we've done. Oh, hell no. There are 4 parts to the layers of life that you can get rid of in a counseling session. You can take the course free with your friend as a twin, with a live at home, with a live supervisor to walk you through it, yeah, and then you can counsel each other free before you had to pay for it, the course and the counseling. No, free. Oh, it's real. In fact, people, it's so simple, it's stupid simple. It's called standard check, but don't have it not be done standardly. It don't work. You don't ever want to mention that. Woo! It doesn't work. So you can do that. You guys can do, and the counseling has 4 parts, right? 4 parts to the layers of life that bother people. Flow 1, things that are done to me. Oh, that makes me feel bad. Then having it unburdened, unlayered a bit, I come up to the level, was anything I might have done to others? They don't know. They have to ask. No. Oh, God, yeah. And Hubbard says, when you get to the level where you can tell your wrongs to others, if you had me, you have then made it on the bridge to total freedom. Get all this. Go call them up. Get this. Okay, good. So flow 2 is things I do to another, and that can make me feel bad. Flow 3 is seeing others harm others, like a war or a fight. That can make me feel bad. And the fourth flow is things I've done to the self. That can make me feel bad. Flow 1 was others to the self. Those are the 4 components of the layers of life that we knowingly or unknowingly are holding us down, and you can get rid of them. It's called, Scientology is negative gain. Getting rid of crap, one and done, to the dumpster. Telling you, okay? Yeah. You don't get into it to get you out of things you didn't know that you're into. If you want to, with a how-to and the can-do. I made it up. My friend said to hold on to the entertainment deal and, hold on to the day job, entertain another time. But this course, PVI, Personal Values and Integrity Course, call one of the Sanders. My God, it's free. Yeah. The lower level counseling, by the way, is free. The middle level, you go and pay for the course, but then counsel each other free. In the upper level, you'd pay for it. Oh, you'll want to. No, I didn't say they'll tell you you'll want to. No, you'll want to. Yeah. Because if you taste even just a penny of this stuff free, and just get rid of one little thing, that is, you will be on the floor in pain, laughing. No maybes, I guarantee you. So, anyway, but the main thing is a specific course to clean up the ethics part, the flow 2 part. Joy, a friend of ours, sent this to me. It says, if you feel you're receiving or are receiving adverse effects, you just run the other side. Is there anything I might have done? So Trump will be doing this. I've heard him say 3 times he likes Scientologists. He didn't know what they are. He just said he likes them. Well, he likes Catholics, Protestants, Muslims, Islams, Hindus, Church of the Later On guys. What the hell's the difference? There isn't any. There's not any difference. A bright guy brought this up. I didn't know. By the way, all the major religions have the same format, the Golden Rule. The white honky said, oh, yeah, do us to others as you want them to do unto you, or don't do another, whatever. The Jews, they always mention Jews next, right? They have a thing called do not have another suffer as you wouldn't want to. It's all the same golden rule, because all beings are basically good. I didn't know this. Hubbard said, you know what? Way back when beings first decided to be, and I certainly didn't know this, there was one word, one link that held them together. One word, help. No, not helping them down, not to help. Hold the door, help this, help that, yeah. And he says, all you have to do is clean it up with each individual, and all the way up the line, and there's nothing else to do. But the layers of life, or whatever they might be, that are blocking the help. Okay, good. So Trump, Biden, Bibi. No, Trump will be doing this, and he'll get Bibi. This is Bibi's off-ramp. He didn't start this thing 75 years ago. No, don't run that on Bibi. No. No, he'll have a golden parachute and off-ramp. Bibi. Yep. You can get free. We all deserve it. See, if I mess up with a wife, again, you'll say, what's that got to do with the big national scene? Oh, she has no more life. She counted on my half. No more does she care about voting, Girl Scout mom, cooking, cleaning, shopping, sewing, all this stuff. No, it's gone. No life, right? But we all, including Bibi, Trump, Biden, we all have both every right and every ability to clean up. I can clean it up. He talks about the guy with a wife, I told you. Just horrible. And she's battering him. This is an example of receiving an adverse effect. Put her aside, handle him. She stops, but we didn't handle her. It works. It's so serious. It's so true. You can actually buy a counseling rundown called the suppressed person rundown. Suppressed, in other words, like submarine, which means below. Suppressed, to hold down, to squash and make less of you to harm you. I'm suppressed, I'm harmed. There's a rundown where I will go in session because someone that bothered me, years ago, so bad it still bothers me. So I'm a suppressed person rundown, right? Candidate. So here's how it works. It's the same stuff. Okay? I get into session and, look at you did to me. Oh my God, this is horrible. Yes, I agree. Okay, good. We put that aside. Once done, unburdened, unloaded. Then was anything I might have done to him. What do you mean? I just told you what you did to me. Not right. Thank you. I got it. Holy kabooly. Oh, for real? Yeah. Yeah. All of a sudden, it releases for me. When you do this exact thing, tell exact time, place, form, event, guess what? It releases for that guy that I haven't talked to in years, don't know what state he lives in, and I am not done with a rundown. The EP, and end phenomena is he will originate a friendly communication to me. Even though I don't know where he is for years, what state, he will find me and send a letter about something cheerful. Well, remember, you thought of something on the phone rang. Oh, well, see, coming back to that little bugger. Not so little. Life isn't little. Silly, loud, not as much as a bomb. Okay. Yeah, it's called a suppressed person rundown. You can do it in session for a real troubling, situation. So that's it. So Trump, he's got a lot of stuff coming at him. So does Biden. So does Bibi. So do I. I did. Even the Tom Cruises, I can't tell you what he ran out or if he ran out anything. Oh, you don't? At gunpoint, no kidding. They do not divulge the secrets of their parishioners, just as a psychiatrist would. No, you do not do that. The Catholic Church. One of the great things about the Catholic Church, they go in this room to confess to a priest, dear Father, for I've sinned. Telling someone you trust, right? Yeah. It relieves the soul incredibly, right? Incredibly. It really does. Yeah. It's precious. Like telling the wife, a best friend. The only catch is they don't know how to do the final steps. Sure, they'll then turn it over to God or a tree, whatever your thing is. I'm not being facetious because those things aren't you. No, I got to go next door, knock on the neighbor's door and say, sorry, I'm going to hit the ball through the window and I'll mow the lawn. Oh, you're a good lad. Don't worry about it. See, I have to handle it, whatever. Maybe something physical, monetary, or just an apology. Okay, so the fact is, the good news is, the Catholic Church thing is a very, very good thing to unburden the soul. But it doesn't do the actual release. And here's the template. You can get free online, personal values and integrity course for you and I and all of us. It's cleaning up this part of life that bogs us down. Oh, the other stuff is hell, yeah. But this is the real killer. Because see, flow one may get rid of things done unto us, that's being a victim. But we don't get into the cause part of what we do to bring it on. But what Hubbard points out so kindly and wisely, few things are as evil, not many things as evil as making somebody guilty, running guilt on someone because you're committing fraud. You're making them think they are what they did. You're not what you do. Do something good, get credit, not good, fix it. You're not what you do. God, no. No, that's all do. So that's part of it, people. So Trump in the privacy of his own home. So you do that. You run out the four parts about it. One, time. At first you say, I did damage to my friend's car in the parking ramp, didn't leave it a note. $500 worth of damage. Okay. One, time. If you do this exact thing, it's time when it was, which is way back, place where it was, and over there, form what it was, and then event, the result, and ask who nearly found out. They can only answer, right. If you do that exact thing, it'll blow. It will blow. Release for you? No, it releases for you and the other guy, and suddenly Trump, see, he can get up now and say, oh, God, guys, we're going to be right and do this and send the National Guard down to the border, which is fraud, by the way. They're escaping something that we created, regime change, Let's send our big blow-gut talent. Let's send our tech and manufacturing and agriculture guys down to those countries and help them get... They don't want to leave, by the way. Sidebar. Do you want to leave your country? No. Do they want to leave theirs? No, they don't want to leave their countries. Give me credit for this one, guys. Got it from you. No! They're escaping something we created. We went in, blew it up, steal our oil, withdraw, creates a vacuum. A bad guy takes over. We natter about, the bad guy, and if anybody really speaks up, we sanction him. Yeah. That governor down in Abbott, the guy with the wheelchair in Texas, right? razor wire and bandsaw blades for people's moms. They wouldn't let the troops get to this mom with the 3 kids and let her drown. No, she drowned. Oh, don't give me the story about, oh no, she was all set or waved off. Really? Help? Really? Oh, I see. Yeah, yeah. So that's murder in the name of the U.S. Don't look now, guys, but the global court of public opinion is watching. George Floyd was real. See the camera? The electronic witness doesn't lie. Oh, yeah. They made up stories of white dot on the tongue near the shoelace from a guy in Iowa that knew you in India, so therefore, oh, he was on drugs. Oh, that's what you do. Put a knee on the neck and another on his back until he can't breathe and dies. 9 minutes, right? They let the guy talk in the courtroom and say, guys, frankly, a top condition athlete would have been dead in 4.5 minutes. Yeah. So why hold the guy down for the 9 minutes? Oh, he's on drugs? Why don't you give him the shot that gets cools in the scene? Oh, he bouncing a $20 bill that's counted for. Oh, so kill him, yeah. Knee in the neck. The Minneapolis police learned that over in Israel, I guess that's what they say. The point, I don't care if they learned it in Norway. But that Derek Chauvin, he's slinging from a rope. Those guys, yeah, he got stabbed. I don't recommend stabbing, but somebody caught him in prison and stabbed him a whole bunch of times. Yeah. He tortured and murdered that guy, George Floyd. The cops aren't that way. Exceptions are. Priests aren't that way. The exceptions are. We're getting it together, guys, getting it back together. So Trump is doing this thing. He said, I heard him say 3 times, he's like Scientology. I don't know what Scientology is, right? He likes it. Let him like who he likes. Catholics, Protestants, Muslims, Islams, Church of the Later On guys. What the heck's the difference? Speaking of golden souls, recently Google, quote, hundreds of thousands of Jews, and leading rabbis in America say, not in our name. They don't want that homicide stuff going on over there. Ethnic genocide, right? And they're called self-hating? Really? You and I see a guy beating up a little girl in a parking lot. We go slow it up, so we're self-hating? Come on. No, we're not. No, they aren't. That's just a small part the media are glad to share. Speaking of media, I want to share it with you. We'll get back to Amy Goodman on Democracy Now!, a PBS thing. If you want to know the truth of the picture going on, and she lets people on who tell the truth, she's very unbiased. Amy Goodman, it's called Democracy Now!, love her. Well, I like Stephanie Rule too, Miss America, who would just all be in tears about all these mass shootings. Why? What's going on? She didn't know the story. It's all psych drugs things, Yeah. She'd almost be in tears, her heart on her sleeve. Stephanie Rule, she has a heart. Miss America with a heart, yeah. Miss America with a heart. Love you, Stephanie Rule. Bette Midler, I love her, did a song From a Distance. You look like my friend, even though we are at war, on about the bombs can't comprehend. God is watching from a distance. I always bother you people. I jam this one in. I always bother you. And I always admit I'm bothering you. I have been, and I always will. What kind of a person Bette Midler would know about from a distance? You look like my friend, even though we are at war. Like Bibi, the Israel and the Palestinians, they're friends. It got out of hand, right? And what kind would care to tell you? Now, I'll tell you, to me, Bette Midler, the most golden soul who ever golden souled, and I told you long ago, that's what Jew is. I'm a Jew. I'm a Bette Midler, radical Jew. Don't argue with me. And the Jews in America, right? Look at that. On a collision course with Israel. Google, well, let's get together and fix it. Yeah. Doesn't matter if it's Norway. No. Or Mars. You got to fix it. You can. I like Hubbard saying this. This is very big. Because you've done it all your life. Anyway, no matter how bad this, that, whatever, anything is, just remember one thing, quote, something can be done about it. So back to the good news. I'm just giving you a little tip a bird told me. Trump's doing that little course, yeah. At home, you write down, you can write down in private. You don't have to tell a counselor what you've done. Get rid of all the stuff by the format, right? And write it as if you're telling it to someone, like you tell a priest or something, right? But codified. Don't have names in there. Do initials. Make them backwards in case it gets lost. So it's airtight security. You can blow it out in the wind. Who cares? Yeah, I guarantee you, people. It's only human, by the way. Little Hubbard said, little Roscoe. I call him Little Johnny. Runs outside and tells his playmates what a jerk is. What a jerk his mom is, right? Leaving out the part about hands in the cookie jar, right? Yeah. His mom doesn't not love him, but she just didn't want him to spoil his appetite. He goes out and tells his playmate what a jerk his mom is because he got caught with a hand in the cookie jar. It's human. We all do it. Some more, some less, some this or that. Welcome. That's reality. So the good news is, I know some things Biden has done. I just told you, you can't do bigger than doing the Biden. He got you out of, he unoccupied, he just got in there. He didn't push you in there. Although I guess in the past he might have voted to do that and realized it was wrong. Right. And I don't have Bibi's history of what he's done wrong, but I'm giving you theory, and it's fact. He's a golden soul, probably done tens, hundreds, thousands of things to help people. And this time, he thinks he's helping, but it's really not so good, yeah. And so things are heating up over there. Okay. So anyway, that's that, guys. Thought I'd tell you. The good news is, again, Hubbard says, when you're counseling somebody, don't focus on what they've done wrong. Get that wrapped up. But get to the thing about what they have done right and validate that. Yeah. It's like he says this, three things. One, if you see programs up and running, they're not so good, kind of bad. One, don't combat, don't fight them, you'll become inturbulated. Number two, don't try and stop them, you'll lose because they have to have a game. Oh, please. Door number three, give them more problems, a better problem. But very specifically, he says, the old saying, if you build a better mousetrap, the whole world will be to pass your drawer, right? Right. He says, if they had just put in one word, problem, and give them a better problem, comma, and he says, quote, your problem can be a sane, S-A-N-E problem, and thus pulling their attention off of the insanities, unquote. They are not those insanities. The person is not them, but they are his. They're mine. Yeah. So that's what you do. Before people get a chance to clean up, no. He says this, we can all have a win. I just read this thing. We can all have a win. Yeah. All you have to do before people have a chance to unpeel those life's layers, that you can get a copy of it and hear it slow-mo for yourself, your own copy, before you get a chance to unpeel the life's layers in each person. Because you don't handle a nation, you handle each person in it. Yeah. Get rid of things that aren't the person. If you know how long it took to get them to collect those, oh my God. They don't tell you. They don't have answers. No. All they have, Scientology, is something that enables you to find out things that you already knew. You knew it in the first place, and get rid of them permanently. You'll be on the floor in pain laughing. So what we do is, here we go, just simply get them to pivot to doing better things. That's it. That's the secret sauce. Sounds dumb. You've heard as an old saying, get your kids to do something better. There's something so genius about that. And so they get a chance to clean them up. Okay, that's it, people. Today is the 5th of February, 2024. Little secret. Trump is proceeding to do this little course. And he and Bibi are old buddies. Biden and Bibi, they go back to decades. Trump and Bibi. Bette Midler says we all are. Things just built up. All wrongs were preceded by a mistake, a misunderstanding, a misduplication. The classic case Hubbard talks about. A woman, this really neat housewife, you get the whole picture, but she burns the dinner every night. Oh my God, what's going on? This neat, rational soccer mom, the whole thing, burns the dinner every night. Pots and pans are about to be flying, and divorce cry. Interview her. Ask her, is there anything you admire about your cooking? Oh, yeah, this, that, whatever. And then find out the first time it happened, she burned the dinner. It was a mistake, and she doesn't dare admit it because she'll get beaten up, injuries to the soul, whatever. So she has to keep on being right and burns the dinner. Anatomy of mistakes. Yeah, yes. All wrongs were preceded. These wrongs, Hubbard points out, are a secondary thing that you see going on with these countries, right? That's an artificiality, typically as a solution. Prior to that is always the primary, or the base thing is always right. Any unwanted or undesired scene, a non-ideal scene, always gets all of its force from, he says, and is held in place by an underlying earlier ideal scene called the truth. It's available, guys, but until you get a chance to clean it up for yourself or others, get them to pivot to something better. And this is an off-ramp for Bibi. Bibi didn't start this murdering, this 75-year U.S.-funded ethnic genocide, apartheid, world's largest open-air prison. Unbelievable. They've been trapped all these years. our dollars enabling it, controlling even their food, water, medicine, and fuel for 75 years. Now, cut it all off. No food, water, medicine, or fuel. Doctors doing surgeries in the dark from we've killed 27,600 now. In the dark, using a cell phone flashlight, the little of it that's left, because we've cut off all the fuel. He's doing amputations of little babies and kids, mangled, right, without anesthesia because we cut off the medicine. So come on. Get Bibi back. Big pill to swallow, no bigger than me when I mess up with the wife. Let me tell you. No, I have every right, every ability. So does he. Yep. He can do an amends and clean it up. Yep. There's no way out but through. That's going to happen. So back again, Trump is doing this thing. I know he can tell his friend Bibi to do this, giving Bibi an off-ramp, a golden parachute. Yeah, because that isn't Bibi. This is the later on. This isn't Biden. This isn't Trump. This isn't me. These are the later on, the secondary things. The primary true things. What a gift he gets to come back to those things. Not become good. You can't become good. No, you return to being you. We'll be back. Watch. It's on. All right.